Turnovers were the name of the game. The Bombers showed grit. The defense definitely played well, but problems with the offensive line, giving Zach Collaros enough time to operate. Controversial calls, and ultimately an overtime that maybe should never have happened. Welcome inside Game Day After Dark. You're watching live here on Bonfire Sports. My name is Darrin Bauming. Before we get started, just want to send the absolute best wishes to Zach Schnitzer, Bonfire OG, who is always here with me on Game Day After Dark, to him and his family and everybody else. They're dealing with a pretty devastating, significant loss to their family. So wishing Zach and everybody in the Schnitzer family all of the best. But we are going to honor Schnitzy by doing a kick-ass show tonight for all of you out there. Thanks for joining us. Great to see everybody in the live chat. I see tons of people already firing up the conversation. Love to see that. We're going to get into a ton of video highlights tonight. I got like 36 video highlights from the first quarter all the way through to overtime, including a lot of those controversial calls, some of the big plays, some of the questionable calls, mistakes, decisions. We'll get into it all here on Game Day After Dark. And the Bombers, 16-14 overtime loss in Week 8 to the Toronto Argonauts in the Big Smoke tonight. Bombers fall to 2-6 on the season. Who would have thunk Winnipeg would be 2-6 going into August? They will play the BC Lions on Thursday, August 1st at home. 7:30 kickoff. Of course, Chris Walby will join me for Game Day Winnipeg, as we always do, the day before the game, live at 3 o'clock, and Game Day After Dark. You guys know where you're at following that game as well. Let's start with a decision. A moment in the game where Winnipeg maybe made the wrong call. Here is 2nd and 6, and Brady Oliveira falls just a yard short of picking up a first down with 1:14 remaining in the game, and Blue Bombers head coach Mike O'Shea, the decision to send in his short yardage specialist, a man who'd been picking up crazy amounts of yards in the wedge package, frankly, all season long. Chris Streveler. He averaged 2.7 yards per carry. And going into this, over 3 yards a carry. But this was 3rd and 1 from the Toronto 22. The decision to go for it here and kill off the clock is one that is into question. I would love to get your perspective, Bonfire starters, in the live chat. Let me know. Let everyone know what you would have done. And keep in mind that the decision Mike O'Shea made is one that many coaches would make. Personally, I agree with Milt Stegall. You're on the 22. It's a 30-yard field goal. There's a minute left. You can say, kick the field goal. We trust our defense. We trust our defense. And this play, of course, went to review. And I'll just skip ahead to it here as we get a better look at the video review. And here's Chris Streveler on 3rd and 1. And it turned out to be a turnover on downs, which sent this game to overtime. Now, in overtime, Sergio Castillo, of course, missed a 41-yard field goal. So a 30-yarder in the fourth quarter to win it. Would he have missed that one? Well, I mean, I don't think it's fair to say that he would have. I think what is fair to say is nothing is going the way of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers this season. Nothing. at all. Waiters checking in saying, I was okay going for it. Scott Roger. Good to see you, Scott. I like the call. Streveler made it, in my opinion. He's been perfect or near perfect on these this year on these. I would have liked off tackle, though. Theo, you call a timeout. You tell the team you need this. Hey, they know they need it, but I understand what you're saying. Buck and Mike are too nonchalant to let this group of pros to let this happen. Interesting comment there from Theo. What's going on, Theo? I think I used to work with you at TSN Radio. How you doing, man? Good to see you in the live chat. Ryan Friesen, defense is awesome. Yeah, the defense played incredible, but there was the call by the official on a turnover on downs. Nothing is going the way of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers this season. Nothing. Injuries. Officiating. Not that that's an excuse or that I'm criticizing them, but a lot of those margin calls haven't gone their way. We're going to get into a lot of those tonight here on the postgame show. Decisions. Coin flips. I don't mean literal coin flips like overtime. I mean coin flip moments where it could have gone either way. Winnipeg has not had their luck at all this season. At all. In overtime, Sergio Castillo lines up from 41 yards, and the field goal is no good. Sergio has been money this season, and he misses from 41 in overtime. Shocking. Shocking to see that happen. I couldn't believe it when I saw that miss. I'm sure a lot of people couldn't believe it when they saw that miss. What were you feeling when you saw Sergio miss from 41 in overtime? Look at the disbelief on these Bombers fans' faces. And here is the game-winning sequence for the Toronto Argonauts. They run it on first down. They bring out 𝘎𝙤𝙧𝙯𝙧𝙯. Well, it seems like I'm playing this at a double speed here. There we go. Straighten that out. A 3rd and 3. Adam Bighill counting his players to make sure they don't get a penalty. Counting them twice. There's Mike O'Shea, no doubt, thinking back to that decision with just over a minute remaining, or just under a minute remaining, to go for it on 3rd and 1 with Chris Streveler and not kick the field goal. What could have been 𝘎𝙧𝙯𝙧, good from 34 yards out, and the Argos come away with the victory. Tough result for Winnipeg tonight, and everything is compounding right now for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Everything. Nothing's going their way. It's incredible, frankly. Incredible. Once again, great to see everybody in the live chat. We got tons of video highlights to get to. We're going to look through the final stats. We're going to talk about these turnovers, okay? We're going to talk about these turnovers that were awful. Inexcusable, many of them, but definitely the reason Winnipeg lost today. It did not come down to that decision we just walked through. And if you're watching on Instagram, welcome. Come on in. Head over to youtube.com/Bonfire Sports, or on YouTube, just search Bonfire WPG. If you're watching on Instagram, you see our handle, Bonfire WPG. You can find us on all our social medias there, as well as YouTube. Oh yes, you can find us there. And then join the live chat. Let us know how you're doing. CJ Diddick, I see you in Instagram watching live right now. Head on over to YouTube, my man. Head on over to YouTube. Gregory Liverpool checking in. What's going on, Greg? Gregory says, another example of why there needs to be change in CFL headquarters starts with Randy and the officiating. Period. End of story. There's a case for that. I'm not of that thought, but hey, People are entitled to that opinion. Where do you guys want to start? You want to start with the stats? We can start with the stats. I mean, hey, coming into this game, we talked about Zach Collaros, right? We talked about Zach Collaros needing to have a big game. And what did we see? We saw Zach Collaros go 78%. 78% passing for 317 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. It was a costly interception, a pick 6, real costly interception. But Zach Collaros made some really, really nice throws. Here's one that I'll show you guys. Here's one, okay? This is in the first quarter. And I tweeted this earlier too. Opening drive for the Blue Bombers, incredible pass. That was not an easy throw for Zach Collaros to make, and he made it. That's vintage Zach Collaros right there. That's beautiful touch on the football. That's pinpoint accuracy to have the over-under window. Look at that. Incredible. Really, really nice job. And great job for Kevin's Clercius. The 7th round, the 2nd pick the Blue Bombers made in the 2024 CFL draft. And there's another quick one. Following that right up was to Ontario Wilson. He fumbled it. He recovered it. One of Winnipeg's giveaways. Well, I shouldn't say giveaways. One of Winnipeg's fumbles tonight. They had 4 fumbles. That's one of them. They lost 3. Tough one in that department, no doubt. But following these throws from Zach Collaros, I guess I don't have it, but he took a nice shot to Drew Wolitarsky in the end zone. Of course, Wolitarsky took an absolutely punishing blow when he fumbled. Let's take a look at that. Because Wolitarsky returned to the game, but he came back, like he left the game at this point. And I mean, my people, listen to me. Watch the replay of this hit on Drew Wolitarsky. I can't imagine how painful this was. Wolitarsky was a warrior tonight. I'm going to give him Walby's warrior right out of the gate because he came back in the second half. Wasn't able to finish the game, but he came back in the second half. A punishing blow. That must have absolutely killed him. I mean, here's another look at it. Okay, here's the look we just had. Pardon the fun I'm having with the windows. But here's Wolitarsky being helped off the field, and I want you all to look at this hit. Drew Wolitarsky took this to the thorax. Yes, I had to say it. To the midsection, not the lower midsection. I'm sure he's happy about that, or at least glad. But to the true midsection, to the kidneys, the ribs, the whatever you want to call it. This hit hurts. That is like the worst spot you would want someone's shoulder to go. Oh, I felt it. I felt it when I saw that. And I had to clip it and show you guys out there here on Game Day After Dark because Drew Wolitarsky is an absolute beast. Walby's warrior runaway tonight because he came back from that. Like, I'm just noticing here. Look at that. Right above the Game Day After Dark logo. Okay? You see Drew there? He's holding his hip, his side. Man, that must have frickin' hurt. I can't imagine. Kudos to you, Wally. What an unbelievable hit you took and to come back. Walby's warrior. We got Westwood's wide to the right. I would love to hear Walby's Warrior from all of you in the live chat tonight. I read all these comments. I might not be reading them right now because I'm doing the show solo, but I read all of these comments. I read them afterwards if you're commenting. Walby reads them. Schnitzy reads them. Appreciate you guys commenting. Hit that thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't yet. We got some Winnipeg Jets stuff in the pipeline coming soon. I'm writing for NHL.com as we speak. I had a piece up on Alphonse Frage. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Winnipeg Jets top pick this past NHL draft. Got a piece on Colby Barlow coming out, a piece on Brad Lambert and whether he's ready to break the Winnipeg Jets lineup, as well as a roster reset. So in that writing I do for NHL.com, it's been a handful of years now. I think maybe 6-7 years I've written for them. Going to bring some of that content to Bonfire Sports. You guys want some hockey? We'll do some hockey this year. I think that'll be fun. Yeah, waiters, Joey Slats. Absolutely. Would love to get Slattery on. I like this. Pat Rathwell, my man. Redha Kramdi. Walby's Warrior tonight. Yeah. I think that's absolutely warranted. Redha Kramdi was all over the place tonight. Here's one. Here's just one of Redha Kramdi's tonight. Coming off the edge. This was his second of 2 sacks tonight. Patient, shedding blockers, and lining up Cameron Dukes to take him down. Huge game for Redha Kramdi tonight. Huge game. What did he finish with? 8 defensive tackles, including a tackle for loss. Here's the tackle for loss, or at least a great run stuff from the Winnipeg Blue Bombers dime backer, Canadian, late round draft pick, 4th year in Winnipeg, took over the starting job last season, has been outstanding, plays with such a physical edge. Great call, Pat Rathwell, on your Walby Warrior tonight. Great job. He had a heck of a game. Big kudos to him. But the one play I wanted to pull up here, as we were talking about Zach Collaros, he made some good throws, and then he made one really costly one. One really, really costly one in the 4th quarter. It's funny too, because like I was literally tweeting, the Bombers just got to grind one out here. They need to grind out a win. And a double-tipped ball. You going to hang that on the QB? Are you going to hang that on the QB? I don't think so. I don't think you're going to hang that on the QB. No way. No way. 𝘎𝙤𝙛𝙧𝙚 McFadden, who, by the way, was just brought back to the Argos like this week, last week. No, Castillo did not miss a point after. It was a 13-13 ball game because it was a touchdown and 2 field goals. But this double tip ball was then challenged by the Blue Bombers. And pulling it up here, a better look at it. So there it is. It goes off of Nick Demski. Or pardon me, I guess it goes off the defender first. Great look here. Goes off the arm, then the shoulder of Deshaun Amos. Up in the air. And you can't see it in this angle, but it was then tipped by Cody Case. And then intercepted by 𝘎𝙤𝙧𝙚 McFadden. It's nuts. Absolutely crazy. Here's a better look at it. Collaros drops back, who, by the way, I said it once, I'll say it again. Like double tip. Brutal. Can't catch a break. I agree with John Cuppers. What's going on, John? Defense played well. They did. They definitely did. THP Power says, was pass interference on that play? I don't know. Maybe. There were a lot of issues in this game tonight. But again, Zach Collaros did what... oh, hey, Schnitzy's not here. Sorry about that. Zach Collaros did exactly what Bomber Nation needed him to tonight. 78% passing, 317 yards. Had a touchdown to Ontario Wilson. We'll take a look at that play. Hot potato. Tip, tip, tip. Was able to then tiptoe into the end zone for his third touchdown of the season. And that one interception we just saw, a costly one, a pick six. But Collaros had a comeback game. And, I mean, the Blue Bombers defense played really well. We're going to look at some of those highlights in a second. The Blue Bombers special teams, in particular the cover teams, they were outstanding tonight. I was so impressed with Winnipeg's cover teams. They were great. They kept Janarion Grant in check. Coming into this game, Janarion Grant had 3 straight games with a return touchdown. That had only been done twice before in all of CFL history. Chris Williams, Hamilton Tiger Cats, about 10 years ago, 11, 12 years ago. And Gizmo Williams of the former Edmonton Eskimos. Walby and I talked about him on Game Day Winnipeg, our pregame show, and how unbelievably fast and thick of a guy he was. But nobody had returned 3 or 4 straight games for a touchdown. And Janarion Grant didn't get that opportunity tonight because the Winnipeg Blue Bombers did such a great job keeping him in check. Here it is. Got it. Knew I had that highlight. Here it is in the final play of the third quarter. And what you see is Nick Hallett, the veteran Canadian. Sorry about this. Just got to get this out of the way so we can get a better look. Nick Hallett goes gunning on specials. Gunning. Here's Nick Hallett leading the way, okay? He's on the 50-yard line right now, middle of your screen. And that's his job. Bat out of hell. Just absolutely fire. That's what Mike Miller used to do in his younger days. Be that gunner to just absolutely fire at the returner and make them make a decision. They did this all night. Great job by the Bombers special teams to keep Janarion Grant in check. It was really, really impressive. Really, really impressive what we saw from the Bombers special teams tonight. Mike Miller, happy. No doubt. And of course, yeah, holding on that play resulted in Winnipeg getting very nice field position. But unfortunately, that field position then led to Collaros and the Blue Bombers getting picked off by Tavares McFadden for a pick six to put the Argos ahead. That was a tough pill to swallow. But I think a bigger issue right now, trying to make sure I find it here. A bigger issue right now, it's not special teams or the return game. I'm sure a lot of people out there don't like the return game. I get it. It's way down the list of issues, way down the list of reasons why they're 2-6 this year. It's definitely not the defense. No, defense is pretty damn good. You know, pretty damn good. One of the ways Winnipeg was good, you guys know how much I like this guy. Not only was he one of my favorite players to watch, but then at practice this year, this man, number 1, Dietrich Nichols, in coverage here of Davaris Daniels. At practice this year, his daughter visiting from down south, back home, gives my dog her little toy doll, a little stuffy, like a little 3-inch stuffed doll, because my dog enjoyed playing with her. And she's like, this is for Ruby. Not only is Dietrich Nichols an absolute stud on the field, this play was challenged and upheld. Not only is Dietrich a stud football player, but his wife and his daughter, outstanding people. So big kudos to Dietrich's daughter for giving Ruby a toy. Appreciate that. Ruby, the official bonfire dog, of course. Here's the official saying, ruling on the field stands and a third down, which definitely helped Winnipeg take control of the ball late into the fourth quarter. I'm not sure about Westwood's wide to the right. Would love to hear your comments in the live chat of your Westwood wide to the right tonight. We got a happy honker to still give away, some game balls, bonfire burning point. Of course, I will call the bonfire burning point right now. It was the decision to run the ball with Chris Streveler on 3rd and 1, when a field goal and a minute left would have won them the game. This is how close it was. Like, I honestly believe that spot was pretty damn poor. That'll be my Westwood wide to the right tonight. I didn't like that spot. Here's a good look. Okay. We see where the line of scrimmage is, right? And we see where the marker is. Okay. This is where they need to get to. They need to get to the 21. They're on the 22. You can see the hash marks right here. Here. Does it show up bigger? Here, I'll do some clicks. You guys can see that there. There's the 22 in the line of scrimmage. There's the 21 where they need to get to. These hands, I mean, not quite over the line. I think that's clean. But what I don't like is the spot of the football, because here's Chris Streveler. And where's the ball? We see the ball there, okay? We see the ball there, right off of 40's shoulder, okay? So Streveler has the ball right behind the W in his shoulder here. And you can even see his right hand come over top. Wonder if I can zoom in on that for you guys. Can I zoom in? No, I can't zoom in. Unfortunate. But there's where they need to get. There's the 21 right there. You see the orange pylon, the orange yard marker. Streveler's not down on the ground. He's on a pile of bodies. So if that's his head and the ball is tucked to his shoulder, high and tight, there it is, right behind the W, I think he's over the line. I really do. I don't like that spot at all. And Mike O'Shea getting a look at it. Always enjoy watching Mike's facial expressions on the sideline. Watching him coach up his players. Standing there with Buck Pierce, of course. And Streveler, the energy that he brings. Crazy. But there it is. I really don't understand the spot. See if we can get a better look at the original. Yeah, it's the same look, I think. Yeah. But this is obviously the reverse angle of what we were looking at before. And you can see the hash mark right here on the bottom of the screen. This is you see that right behind the CFL on TSN badging? That's that white grass there. That's the 21. I don't know how they spotted it here. It's almost like they spotted the ball where Chris Streveler's belt line was and not where his shoulder was, where he was holding the football. So I didn't like that. My Westwood wide to the right tonight. Happy Honker, game balls. Yeah, we'll get to those in a second. Bonfire Burning Point, definitely the decision to go for it there, not kick the field goal when you had a chance to win it. But you know what? I'll bring back that comment. Well, it was Pat Rathwell. I want to draw attention to this. Big ups to my people. Who are my people? Oh, well, of course. It is the 1930 crew. Are you going to Regina for Labor Day? If you don't have plans, you can grab one of the few remaining seats on the 2 buses the 1930 crew are putting together. Who are the 1930 crew? Well, you can see there at the top of your screen. You can find them on Instagram. You can find them on Twitter. I think Facebook too. The 1930 crew. Okay. Why 1930? Well, it was the year the Blue Bombers were established. 1930. Coming up on 100th anniversary. Can you believe that? 6 years away. The 1930 crew has got the best bus trip you can imagine. Okay. It's really like an all-inclusive trip. It's going to be so much fun. $420 per person. If you got 4 to your room, $450 per person for double occupancy, 2-night hotel accommodation, game ticket. You're going to be sitting in the stands with all the other bus trips coming from Winnipeg, all the other Bombers fans. But if you're in the 1930 crew, you get exclusive swag. You get VIP hosts, VIP event for you. Pre-game tailgate. We have got food, drink. All you got to do is make sure you make it to the bus on time, both in Winnipeg and in Regina to come home. We're going to be having so much fun. And what are the buses? The buses, you got the Bonfire bus, the Bomber bus. Is that the Blue Bomber bus or the Darrin Bauming Bomber bus? People call me Bomber. Maybe one day I'll share with you guys the story of somebody hollering out, "Bomber, Bomber," at the airport in Tampa Bay when I was headed down to Blue Bombers rookie minicamp in April. "Hey, Bomber, you left your laptop." Got some eyeballs that day. You going to be on the Bomber bus or are you going to be on the Huss bus? Hustler, Winnipeg Sports Talk, Andrew Hustler Patterson, the one and only. The Huss bus, the Bomber bus, seats still available. And all you got to do is email the 1930crew@gmail.com. You can find them on Instagram, Facebook, all of that. We're going to have so much fun. You guys do not want to miss it. Exclusive swag, drinks on the bus. They're going to feed you. We're going to stop for, halfway to Regina, halfway back. You know the drill. You guys all know the drill. Go check them out. The 1930crew@gmail.com. And let's go to Labor Day and have fun. Even though the Bombers are 2-6 right now, that's going to be a ton of fun. Some of the calls in this game were controversial. Oh, yeah, that's what I was talking about. I remember now. Going back to it not being the defense and it not being the special teams. And we looked at Zach Collaros' numbers tonight. They were damn good. 300 yards, 78%, double-tipped ball, picked off for 6. The turnovers were the reason the Blue Bombers lost tonight. 3 giveaways. 4 fumbles, 3 lost. Another one by Nick Demski. I mean, that was tough. Let's take a look at it right now, shall we? I know. Nobody wants to see it again, but we need to see it again. Here, let me clean this up a little bit here. This Nick Demski fumble was a real tough pill to swallow. There was Drew Wolitarsky who was able to come back in the second half and then not finish the game. He was ruled out at that point. But just like last week, Demski in the open field, fumbles. That's a real costly one. And it was Royce Mechie, or Mechia, I think he goes by now. I got to make sure I get that straightened out. Wants his name pronounced differently now. Royce Mechia. But here's Nick Demski after the fumble. His second in 2 straight games. Tough one for him to swallow tonight. Real tough. But while the turnovers are the reason the Bombers lost tonight, the reason Winnipeg, in my mind, are having a tough season right now, it just comes down to this. It comes down to this. I'm going to pull it up here. I'm going to pull up a whole bunch, actually. I'm going to pull up a whole bunch of highlights for you guys on what the issue is for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, because I think I've got it down. I think I know the answer. Okay? Winnipeg, and in particular, their offensive line, it's been very bad. Very bad. And I think Zach Collaros played really well tonight. But hey, you see Stanley Bryant there? He knew it right away. Pointing back at his quarterback. Where's Stanley? Stanley is right there on the right side of your screen. You see Stanley Bryant pointing back. Collaros is down. Go check on your quarterback. And it was Derek Parish who gave him a shove late. There's Parish coming off the edge. And unblocked. Now, that may have been by design, but it's still, a misdirection play to the left. They're trying to draw everybody left. There's Brady in the play action. There's the play fake to Brady. And then a rollout. But watch Parish, 97. Top left of your screen. Helmet right under the 3 of the 30-yard line. Comes into the pile, and sometimes they say, well, hopefully he gets washed. That's what football coaches will say. Hopefully he gets washed. It means he kind of gets lost in the pile, lost in the mass of men, okay? But he doesn't. He does not get washed. And maybe Cody Case should have chipped him. That would be just, throw your shoulder into him, get a piece of him to slow him down. And it's also a timing play. Collaros wants to get the ball out quick. And yeah, maybe Case couldn't chip him because that ball was coming to him. But command center saw this. The injury spotter saw this. It looked like a shove at real speed, but there's Parish helmet to helmet. Now, I don't know if he'll be penalized for that, or he wasn't penalized for it, but I don't know if he will be, fined for that. I really don't think so. I know Zach Collaros will have some thoughts on it, but that was just one instance. And, before I show this one, I'll just say that was where Zach Collaros was pulled from the game by the injury spotter, went to the locker room, presumably went under concussion protocol testing, came back into the game. So very positive news there that he wasn't more seriously shaken up. But that was far from the only instance a Collaros taken a beating. The O-line has not been good. There's Jake 𝘎𝙤𝙛𝙧𝙚 with a sack. And you can see Collaros' body language. Like, look at that. Not so much there, but here. Look at Collaros' body language. He's just like, damn. At this point in the game, here's Pat Neufeld. Pat Neufeld at right guard, Jake 𝘎𝙤𝙧𝙚 at defensive tackle, and he just cooks him. Doug Brown, CGOB, was tweeting about it. That Neufeld was just, getting taken by Jake 𝘎𝙤𝙚 tonight. That was just one situation with Jake 𝘎𝙤𝙚. In came 𝘎𝙤𝙤𝙧𝙀𝙀. What's that? Oh, yes. 𝘎𝙤𝙤𝙧𝙨 came into the game at right guard for Pat Neufeld. I don't believe Neufeld was hurt. They just brought in their 6th offensive lineman and made a change. And what happened? Well, here's Woody Barron getting to the quarterback. And by the way, this was Jake Serezna right here and Woody Barron right here. Your defensive tackles going to work. Serezna beats 𝘎𝙤𝙧𝙨 and Woody Barron beats Chris Kolankowski. So watch the 2 defensive tackles. There's Serezna beating 𝘎𝙤𝙧, and there's Woody Barron bull rushing Bombers center Chris Kolankowski, and then the spin move right here. Whoop. And he gets to Collaros. And then, of course, Parish adds insult to injury with an extra smack on the Blue Bombers quarterback. Tough night for the O-line. Oh, yeah. Okay. So that was 1st and 10, right? Was that 1st and 10? I think that was 1st and 10. No, it was 2nd down. Oh, no, that was 1st and 10. 1st and 10, Woody Barron sack. Okay. There it is. 2nd and 10, the next play. The next play. Serezna cooks 𝘎𝙤𝙧. The Blue Bombers offensive line is really, really struggling this year. And you can't tell me this is, well, they don't have Jamarcus Hardrick anymore. These are the same dudes. Okay? I didn't see Eric Lofton getting beat. I saw Pat Neufeld getting beat. I didn't see the right tackle, the only new guy in this line being the issue. I saw 𝘎𝙤𝙧𝙨. I saw Pat Neufeld. I saw Chris Kolankowski get beat tonight. The Blue Bombers offensive line is a problem, unfortunately. Would love to get your comments in the live chat. John Chan, O-line has been an issue for most of the season. Can't go with this line next season if the Bombers hope to go to the Grey Cup. Of course, next year being a big year. The Grey Cup is here in Winnipeg. 2025, the year of the championship in Winnipeg, because the CEBL championship is here. Canadian Elite Basketball League and the Winnipeg Sea Bears will host championship weekend in August of 2025. And then Princess Auto Stadium and the city of Winnipeg will host the 112th Grey Cup in November of 2025. Andrew, my man, any chance Bluto's in game shape? Chris Walby, I mean, he could be. I don't know what PST is. Provincial sales tax? I'm not sure there, Scotty. Dan Mitchell. Please stop showing highlights of the O-line. Highlights, lowlights. I mean, hey, you want to know what's wrong with the Bombers? When your friends ask you, like, man, the Bombers are having a tough year. What's going on? Well, I think everybody's been at fault at some point this year. But the O-line is one that has just kind of reared its ugly head a couple times. Comment. Toronto Argonauts did not reach the red zone once tonight. Is that right? Man. You guys want to look at some more stats? What do you say? It'll tell some of the picture. Let's take a look. Ontario Wilson, a lot of criticism last week. Oh, he couldn't follow up his 200-yard, 2-touchdown performance. He only had 2 catches against Saskatchewan. Well, caught 7 of 9 balls tonight, 129 yards, and a touchdown. I mean, he's good. Brady Oliveira, 96 on the ground, averaging 7.4 yards per carry. When the Bombers want to run the ball, O-line, pretty good moving forward. When the Bombers want to pass, and the O-line needs to backpedal and pass protect, that's the most layman way to put it. When the O-line is run blocking, they're running forward. When the O-line is pass blocking, they're stepping backward. That's how it works. That's a very layman way to put it. But Brady had 96 rushing, 51 receiving. So every time Brady Oliveira touches the ball, got 7.4 on the ground, 8.5 catching and running with the ball, 50 yak yards. So, I mean, it's not like he was catching anything downfield. 51 yards receiving, 50 after the catch. Second down conversion. Ontario Wilson, 2 second down conversions. Winnipeg has been atrocious on second down tonight. Atrocious. Not tonight, pardon me, this season. But Winnipeg's defense did their job. I mean, Kadeem Carey was their leading receiver as far as catches. And Polk, gosh, forgive me, I forget his name, but Polk is their rookie receiver. One of the reasons why Rasheed Bailey was likely released by the Argos yesterday. 49 yards, the most he could muster, or the most the Argos could muster out of a single player. Kadeem Carey, 62 yards on the ground. I mean, 6.2 per carry. Pardon the pun. Kadeem Cash and Carry, as Caperness affectionately calls him. Like that nickname. Pretty good running the football, but they didn't stick with it. 10 carries tonight. And Daniel Adebayo, Daniel Adebayo, got to get the second Bobo in there. Adebayo, 6 carries for 24 yards. So, I mean, they ran the ball relatively well, but Nick Arbuckle, 87 yards passing, goes 55%. Cameron Dukes, 37 yards passing, goes 75%, threw the ball 4 times. Like, Winnipeg's defense showed up. They played great. Let's take a look at these stats as I slowly scroll over to Winnipeg's side. Walby's Warrior, Redha Kramdi, 8 tackles, a tackle for loss, 2 sacks, 11 total defensive plays. Huge night for Redha Kramdi. Let's give him a game ball too. Adam Bighill, 7 defensive tackles. And I know you guys want to hear about Adam Bighill. A lot of conversation about Adam Bighill, his level of play. I want to show you a clip from Adam Bighill tonight. Okay. Do I got it here? I think I got it here. This is what you're getting from Adam Bighill this season. This is what you're getting. You're getting instances where he gets trucked. Now, the replay of this shows a little bit more context of what happened, instead of it just being like, okay, Adam Bighill got trucked over. It's not always that cut and dry. Okay, here's Adam Bighill in the middle, number 4. There's the telestrator from Dwayne Ford tonight. Great job on the broadcast for Rod and Dwayne. Yes, Adam Bighill does get trucked by Kadeem Carey, but watch, he gets chipped first. Right there, off balance, and that's a lot harder to stop a running back that has a running start. Like, Kadeem Carey is untouched. Adam Bighill is his first contact, and Carey has got physical momentum here. Bighill has been chipped, and he's going to be off balance and slowed down. Tries to make the tackle, slows him down enough for Winnipeg to end up making the play. But a tough instance there where the middle linebacker couldn't make the play. I mean, good play design. And I'm letting the tape roll. Next play, Adam Bighill penetrates and makes an incredible play. Now, Kadeem Carey did pick up the first down here, but it was close. Adam Bighill, you see him there, number 4. Watch him penetrate the line of scrimmage. He waits, and it's the old Zeke Marino. Remember the Bombers linebacker Zeke Marino? It was Zeke and Destroy. Why was that nickname so good? It's because linebackers seek and destroy. And Bighill, still so smart, So smart. His eyes are his best weapon. His eyes may be his best weapon since he stepped on a football field. He was right there in the right position. And people, I mean, there's tons of Bombers fans out there that are saying they got to bench Adam Bighill, but Mike O'Shea's going to stick with his guy and it's going to burn him. There's a reason why Adam Bighill is going to be in the Hall of Fame, okay? And he's still playing at a very, very high level. Do I have another? I thought I had another Bighill clip here to show some of the things he did. Let's see if I can find it if I do a search. That's how many highlights I cut for you guys tonight. Oh yeah, in the fourth quarter. Here it is. That's how many highlights I cut for you guys tonight that I have to literally search because the list is so long. I don't know how many highlights do I have here? Too many. But here's Adam Bighill getting washed out. I mean, good block by the Toronto Argonauts. Here's Bighill in the middle. And he gets taken. I don't know if you can blame Adam Bighill for that, but big run from Kadeem Carey. Here's Bighill again, sitting at the second level. See him there? And this time he just gets absolutely held. Okay? Watch the O-lineman. Oh, I'm just going to wrap my arms around you, Adam, and tackle you to the ground. Like, is that a bad call? Like a bad non-call? I mean, that sort of stuff happens a lot. You want to get nitpicky? I mean, you could play all of these clips in super slow motion like I'm doing and find 5 penalties on every play. But a huge running lane and that O-lineman doing a great job stepping in and taking the middle linebacker to allow Kadeem Carey a healthy run lane. And then where's Winnipeg the next play? Look what they do. They line up 3 dudes tight in the middle. And they got Jefferson, and I think this is Owen Hebert, pardon me, number 93, Bombers late round rookie Canadian, who's been really, really good, lining up on the edge. Oh, no. Never mind, that's Tony Jones. Is it weird seeing a linebacker wear 33? I think so. But there's a couple plays Adam Bighill was, washed, if you will. But that doesn't stop him. Again, doing what he does best. 3rd and 1. And these are consecutive plays, by the way. 3rd and 1. And there's Bighill stuffing Cam Dukes. And for those that want to take Adam Bighill out of the lineup, he just caused a turnover on downs. Because he knew where to be. He had the power to stop the ball carrier. And he made the play. Incredible job from the Blue Bombers veteran linebacker, Adam Bighill, doing what he does best. You want to take that guy out of the lineup? You want to take that guy out? I don't know. Cost benefit? I don't think it's even a conversation. Sorry. You want Adam Bighill out of the lineup? You got to give your head a shake. Watch more than his mistakes. Watch the things he does. He's been doing this all year. No, Mike O'Shea ain't making any changes at middle linebacker. No way. Do we got a happy honker tonight? Is there a moment? Hit up the live chat. I want to know what you guys think would be the happy honker. Hey, sorry, pulling up another waiters comment. I know that bothers some of you guys. Bighill's IQ the highest in the linebackers. Yeah, Winnipeg, maybe even the league. Bingo bango. Biggie still got game. THP Power with another hot take. Love the hot takes. THP Power says, after the offensive line, Buck Pierce is the team's biggest problem. I would love for you to expand on that. James in the Peg, I wonder if Buck Pierce's hands are tied due to the rookies. That's interesting. Okay. Okay. I hear you, mischievous wolf. You want to see it. This was probably going to be the bonfire burning point tonight, but alas, as they say, alas, it will not be. 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. 1st and 10 at midfield. Boop, whoop. Ontario Wilson pulls in a long touchdown off the arm of Zach Collaros. And following the convert, the Bombers tie it up at 13. That'll be the happy honker. Okay, yeah, Pat Rothwell. There you go. And of course, Mischievous Wolf, you said it first. Happy honker. Ontario Wilson and his bobbling catch tonight. I like it. Let's take another look at Ontario. I like this one. Little ISO on the Bombers rookie receiver out of Florida State University, the alma mater of Blue Bombers assistant general manager Danny McManus, of course. And a nice look at Zach Collaros there as well. But Willie Jefferson coming over, congratulating the young man, Ontario Wilson. I think he is going to be a familiar face, a regular on this Blue Bombers, or in this Blue Bombers receiving core. What's up with Lucky Whitehead? Folks, I don't know. It's been 3 weeks. Remains on the practice roster. He's putting in the work. Mike O'Shea says he's putting in the work. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see if he eventually cracks this lineup. Kenny Lawler. Well, Lawler is not going to be back next week, August 1st, when the Bombers host the BC Lions. Then the Bombers have a bye. Okay? We are nearly halfway through the season. Can you believe that? The Bombers are 2-6. Oof. That hurts. Hate to do this to you guys, but I'm going to pull up the CFL standings. See if I can refresh here and get an update. Yep. But following Winnipeg's game at home against the BC Lions on August 1st, the Bombers have their first of 3 byes. Week 10, week 15, and week 20 are the Bombers' byes. They can't wait, I am sure. Like, they're going to go to work this week. They're going to do their best to play a hungry BC Lions team that had a bit of a surprising loss last week. Here, I'll pull up that score right there. 25-24, the Calgary Stampeders beat the BC Lions on Sunday. So the Lions returning home after a fruitless trip to Calgary, or pardon me, they're going to, return home for practice and then head to Winnipeg in CFL Week 9. Of course, Hamilton, Edmonton tomorrow. See if the Elks can find their first win of the season, or if Hamilton can keep a little momentum going after beating the Toronto Argonauts in the Hammer last week. But CFL Week 9 continues. Or pardon me, into CFL Week 9. Are we in Week 8? Yeah, we're in Week 8. I'll keep it straight. CFL Week 9 starts with BC and Winnipeg, Montreal and Hamilton. No Cody Fajardo. We'll see how the Alouettes can do in the Hammer. Edmonton at Sask. Oof. The Riders, I'm not a buyer yet, but they're rolling right now, playing pretty good football. Toronto and Calgary, and 2 teams that kind of show flashes and then stink it up. Roller coaster seasons. But we're halfway through the season. The Bombers still have 3 bye weeks to go. At 2-6, you better be cheering. You better be cheering for the Argos next week because the Bombers need to catch Calgary. I don't know if there's going to be a crossover this year. Because right now, the third place team in the East is ahead of the Stamps. You to cheer for the crossover with the Argos and the Stamps playing next week? Like, they're one win apart from each other, and they're both sitting in third place in the division, each of their divisions. You better be cheering for the Argos next week, Bomber fans, because Winnipeg needs to catch Calgary. They've got a tough test with a probably bitter taste in their mouth BC Lions team coming into Winnipeg on Thursday. Chris Walby will get the pregame show going with yours truly on Wednesday, this coming week, being Saturday right now, Wednesday, 3 o'clock, live as we always do on Bonfire Sports. If you're curious where to find us, bonfiresports.ca, you'll find links to everything. You can also go bonfiresports.ca/Spotify. That'll take you to our Spotify page. /YouTube. You bet. It'll take you to the YouTube page. /Twitter. bonfiresports.ca/Twitter. Or you can go bonfiresports.ca/X. It'll take you there. That'll be where you can find everything. Himanshu Sharma, BC coming off a bye week. You are right. Thank you. Thank you, Himanshu. You're right. BC coming off a bye and a bitter taste in their mouth, losing to the Calgary Stampeders last week. Sheesh. Tough go. Winnipeg is going to get a motivated BC Lions team. And for Winnipeg, I mean, the second phase of the season, another game against BC following the bye. That'll be August 18th in Vancouver, home to Hamilton. And then it's the Labor Day and the Banjo Bowl back-to-backs. Are you headed to the 1930 Crew bus? You should. 1930crew@gmail.com. You can find information of that in the video description below. But before that, I mean, hey, huge ups to my people. Huge ups to my people at Scotswood Links. Look at this course. Just 25 minutes west of Winnipeg. McGillivray, the perimeter, you're there in 25. Amazing course, challenging. Well-treed, as you see. That's the first few holes. There's the clubhouse kind of right there in the middle of the screen. Outstanding prairie meadow and prairie forest with water hazards, impeccable greens. Course is in outstanding shape. Look at that. Looks like a nice little clubhouse there, eh? Yeah, nice little clubhouse. Beautiful new spot they got. They're all set up for your next special event, your wedding, your fundraiser, whatever it may be. Beautiful facilities there. I've been talking about it for weeks. Perfect patios. There they are in the shade on those hot summer days. There they are in the sun when you want to soak it in with your friends in a cold one. Great drinks, amazing service, outstanding people, awesome food. You want to check them out. Scotswoodlinks.com. That's Scotswood with one T. Scotswoodlinks.com. Let's see if I can zoom in on the website for you guys. Oh, it's just off screen. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah, it's pretty small. It's pretty small. Whoop, not that small. Scotswoodlinks.com. And if you go to scotswoodlinks.com/bonfire, scotswoodlinks.com, there it is there, one T. scotswoodlinks.com/bonfire, you'll get a nice healthy discount on a foursome with power cards. How does that sound? If you want, text me right now on the Bonfire hotline, 204-816-TIPS. That's 204-816-8477. And I have got a foursome pass with power cards for you to use free of charge. Head out to Scotswood Links, have a round on Bonfire. Let them know Bonfire sent you. While you're there, ask them about the Bonfire promo. Clark Scott, the entire Sisson family will take care of you out there. ScottswoodLinks.com/bonfire for the promo. Text the bonfire hotline. The number is in the video description below. You can also find it right at the top of our website, bonfiresports.ca. Text me right now if you want that foursome pass. You're going to have to text me your email address, okay? That's important. Text me your email address, 204-816-TIPS. That's 816-8477. And comment, of course, hits up Scotswood Links. Beautiful course. Pat Rathwell knows. Love Scotswood. You better head out. That's the spot to be. But text her right now. Standard message rate supply. You know, like we say, it's just like texting your mama, texting your boy, texting your gal, texting your friend. Same deal. Give me a text on the bonfire hotline. We'll get you set up with that. And, while we're at it, I'll mention our good friends at Pure Lifestyle. PureWinnipeg.com is where you will find them. They have everything they need, or everything that you need to take care of your health, top to bottom. Exercise and nutrition as medicine. They have got medical facilities, wellness, rehabilitation, physical therapy, mental therapy, individualized care, strength and conditioning, occupational health, kinesiologists, personal trainers, amazing facilities as you see there. They are located at 1129 Empress, just north of Polo Park. They've got an outstanding executive health program. They have got what you see there. That's the DEXA scan. There ain't many of these in the province. This will measure your bone density, lean muscle mass, visceral fat. That's the fat on the inside of your body. The subcutaneous fat, big word, but it just means the fat that is under your skin. The fat that's on the outside, your little beer belly. I know I got it. My beer belly's gone down quite a bit since going and seeing our friends at Pure Lifestyle. 1129 Empress. You can give them a call, 204-338-PURE. That's 338-7873. They're right by the Rona on Empress, just north of Polo Park. Links and information and everything you need down in the description below. They are Winnipeg's premier proactive healthcare provider. And I've been going there for a long, long time now. Outstanding people. Just great spot to be. Big thanks to them and Scotswood Links. And, of course, the 1930 crew. You can find them on all the social medias at the 1930 crew. Get on the bus to Labor Day, man. Let's go. Get on the Bomber bus with Bonfire Sports. Get on the Huss bus with Winnipeg Sports Talk. It's going to be fun. Final thoughts, you guys? Got to hand out some game balls. Ontario Wilson, yes. Redha Kramdi, yes. Special teams coordinator Mike Miller, yes. Final game ball. Who am I forgetting? Man, I'm getting distracted. Phone is lighting up right now with people wanting those that foursome with power carts to Scotswood Links in beautiful Elm Creek, Manitoba. If you've never golfed there, you got to go. I mean, I love it there. Great to see everybody in the live chat tonight. Hit me with your final game ball. Andrew says Brady gets a game ball. I like it. Waiters. Yeah, I mean, reading my mind as usual. Zach Collaros, 317 yards, 78% passing, touchdown. Finally, another one, his third of the season. Yeah, a pick six, but it was a double tipped ball. Tough one. Not hanging that on the quarterback. Bingo Bango says Castillo. No. Okay, that's fine. But who does get the game balls? Pat Rathwell says Sergio. Oh, pardon me. Brady Oliveira. B. Henderson. Is that Brooke Henderson? Canadian golf superstar? Brooke Henderson? Sergio. No mas. Game ball this week. No more. Yeah. Dan Mitchell. Bighill. Getting a game ball. I like it. That's pretty good. Did we get through it all tonight? I think we did a pretty good job, folks. You know, watching the game, cutting clips, highlights for you guys, doing the post-game show. Whew. I'm tired. It's a day, but I wouldn't trade it for the world because of you out there. Big thanks to all of you for watching, for listening, for hitting that thumbs up. That helps us so much, for commenting, for downloading the podcast, for doing all those things. One of the best things you can do to keep the bonfire stoked and burning hot like this, making my studio here incredibly humid. It's not a real fire. Did you know? Secrets, late night here on Game Day After Dark. But you keep that fire stoked by doing one thing, especially in addition to watching, listening, downloading, commenting, hitting the thumbs up. The most important thing you can do, share Bonfire with your friends, with your neighbor, with your family, with your bomber crew, with your Jets buddies, with your friends at work, your people, your boss. Let them know. Bonfiresports.ca will get them links to everything. We're not on TikTok. You're welcome, but we are everywhere else at Bonfire WPG, bonfiresports.ca. Appreciate all of you. And big thanks to you, Leslie. Appreciate that. Great job doing the show solo. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. It's challenging, but it's fun. I think I'm getting the hang of it. You know, been doing this for a little while. Crazy how the years go by. Hey, can you believe Mike O'Shea took this team over 11 years ago? 11 seasons. Like, I guess 10 seasons with the 2020 year missed. But 2014, and you include that to 2024, that's 11 years. It's amazing how the time goes by. Incredible. Big thanks once again to all of you, to purewinnipeg.com and Pure Lifestyles, to scotswoodlinks.com and the beautiful course in Elm Creek, Manitoba, to the 1930 crew, and to all of you sending our best to one of the real ones out there, my man, Schnitzy. We love you, man. All the best to you and your family. You guys will persevere and come out of this stronger than ever. I know how much you love your mom, and she will be missed. So thinking of you, brother, tonight. And hey, I mean, the Bombers might have lost tonight. That stinks. They're 2-6, but we have a lot of fun following the roller coaster of emotions that come with being a Winnipeg sports fan. They lift you up, they tear you down, and you have fun in it all. So thanks for keeping the bonfire stoked, everybody. I'm going to hit the outro here, get the podcast loaded up for you that are listening afterwards. But big thanks for all your support, your comments, your watches, your downloads. Thank you. Great to see everybody out here tonight. We'll see you next time on Bonfire Sports.